Kanai Sakura was born on November 27, 1974, in the quiet town of Nakashitsu, Japan. She was the oldest of 4 children in a wealthy family. Her father worked as a notary public, a respected position, while her mother taught piano. From a young age, Kanai was showered with attention, especially because she was the firstborn. Her mother, passionate about music, inspired Kanai to learn the piano, and she practiced for hours every day. She even performed on various stages and competed in music contests, quickly showing a natural talent. But Kanai's interests went beyond music. By the age of 9, she had learned to cook well, and her mother believed this skill would prepare her to be a good wife someday. Kanai's father, however, was strict. He limited what the children could watch on television and gave them very little money to spend on themselves. While Kanai adapted well to the strict rules at school and was an excellent student, she struggled with the lack of money. She loved luxury and spending, but her father's tight control frustrated her. In high school, she discovered that her father kept $21,000 in cash at home. Unable to resist, Kanai secretly took the money and spent it on expensive clothes and handbags. When her father found out, he punished her by cutting her allowance. But instead of feeling sorry, Kanai only wanted more as she grew older. Kanai began dating older men, offering her company in exchange for money. This was the start of her dangerous path. She met a man in his 40s and, under his influence, stole $80,000 from a classmate's bank account. The authorities caught them, but since Kanai was still a minor, she was given probation. Despite this, she kept up her excellent grades and finished high school. After graduating, Kanai moved to Tokyo to study economics at university. However, she quickly lost interest and dropped out. She took various temporary jobs to survive, including waiting tables at a fast food restaurant. The low pay and long hours were hard for her, and she hated her small apartment. Soon, she developed a habit of stealing from stores, cosmetics, books, even money. Though caught several times, she managed to avoid jail. These petty thefts did not satisfy her desire for a better life. Kanai then entered the world of escort clubs. These clubs offered services ranging from conversation to companionship. At just 5 feet tall and weighing 105 kilograms, Kanai did not match the usual beauty standards, so she initially struggled to attract attention. That changed when she met Takayachi, a pimp who became her mentor. He taught her how to please men and encouraged her to focus on middle-aged or older men who lacked confidence and were easy to manipulate. Kanai learned to connect emotionally with her clients, using kindness and consideration to win their trust. She became skilled at reading people and understanding what they wanted. Under the name Sakura, she crafted stories about her backgrounds, saying her father was a professor at Tokyo University. Other times, pretending to be a nurse, therapist, or famous chef. In February 2001, she met Sato Fukuyama in a bar. Within 2 weeks, they were lovers. Sato was frugal and cautious with money, but Kanai quickly gained his trust. She told him her parents died in a plane crash and claimed she needed money to pay for music school in Boston. Sato promised to support her financially. Kanai traveled from the US to meet him regularly, and he eagerly awaited her visits. She drained his savings, and when he had nothing left, she ended their relationship without a trace. When Sato suspected he was deceived and reported it, the evidence was not enough to press charges. In August 2007, Sato was found dead in his shower. The police never determined the cause, and his death was ruled an accident. Shortly after, Kanai transferred $50,000 from his accounts to hers. This was just the beginning of Kanai Sakura's deadly game. After the mysterious death of Sato Fukuyama, Kanai Sakura's dark ambitions grew stronger. The comfortable lifestyle she craved was. After Kanai's arrest in late September 2009, the police finally started piecing together the horrifying truth behind the seemingly accidental deaths of several middle-aged men. The careful web of lies she had spun over the years was beginning to unravel. Investigators found disabled fire alarms and sedatives in Kanai's home, along with receipts for the electric stoves linked to the mysterious deaths. Each new discovery tightened the noose around her, making her the prime suspect in a series of suspicious fatalities. Months of intense investigation followed. Police uncovered a chilling pattern. Kanai targeted vulnerable men who were isolated, lonely, or burdened by stress and financial worries. Using multiple false identities, she built emotional connections, gaining their trust and draining their bank accounts. One chilling case involved Tako Terata, a 53-year-old systems engineer. Kanai, under the alias Sakura, gained his trust, then drugged him before trapping him in a sealed room with an electric stove pumping deadly carbon monoxide. She transferred over $120,000 from his bank account before vanishing, leaving him to die a silent and agonizing death. Despite the brutality of her crimes, Kanai maintained a calm exterior throughout questioning, claiming the deaths were accidents or personal choices by the men. Her defense team argued that there was no direct evidence linking her to murder, only circumstantial evidence. However, the prosecution presented strong arguments highlighting her pattern of fraud, manipulation, and murder. Toxicology reports showed sedatives in the victim's systems, and all had large loans or transfers to Kanai shortly before their deaths. As the case progressed, Kanai's manipulative nature was revealed further when it was discovered she continued to communicate and manipulate others from behind bars, writing blogs and even gaining financial support from fans. Her story captivated the media, creating a dark fascination around the Black Widow, a woman who turned charm and deceit into deadly weapons. The courtroom buzzed with tension as Kanai Sakura faced charges that shocked the nation. From fraud to multiple counts of murder, the evidence against her was mounting, yet she remained steadfast, denying all allegations and painting herself as a victim of circumstance. Throughout the trial, Kanai's defense focused on the lack of direct proof. They argued that the men's deaths were either accidents or personal choices, emphasizing the absence of eyewitnesses or confessions. Her calm demeanor and carefully crafted stories made the courtroom drama as gripping as a thriller. Meanwhile, the prosecution relied heavily on circumstantial evidence. Toxicology reports, disabled fire alarms, and suspicious financial transactions all pointed towards a chilling conclusion. Kanai had systematically preyed on vulnerable men, manipulating and ultimately killing them to escape debts and secure money. The media was captivated by Kanai's story. Dubbed the Black Widow by the press, she became a symbol of deceit and danger cloaked in charm. Public opinion was divided. Some saw her as a cold-blooded killer, while others were fascinated by her intelligence and audacity. In a surprising turn, Kanai used her time during the trial to write blogs and memoirs, gaining a controversial following. Some readers admired her candidness and resilience, while others condemned her as a heartless predator exploiting the justice system. The trial culminated in April 2012, when the jury found Kanai guilty of murdering 3 men. The verdict sent shockwaves across Japan, and she was sentenced to death, the ultimate punishment for a woman whose deadly charm had destroyed multiple lives. Yet, even behind bars, Kanai's story did not end. She continued to live a complex life filled with relationships, marriages, and further controversies, challenging the public's perception of justice and redemption. As the years passed, Kanai Sakura's dark web of deceit continued to grow, but cracks in her carefully built facade started to appear. In 2009, Kanai refined her tactics, shifting her focus to the emerging world of the internet and online dating, where she found a fresh pool of unsuspecting victims. Using her cunning, Kanai created an irresistible online persona, Sakura, crafting stories that pulled at the hearts of lonely men. She promised love, companionship, and a future together, while secretly plotting their financial ruin and eventual demise. One victim, Tako Terota, a 53-year-old systems engineer living a quiet, isolated life, found hope and warmth in Kanai's words. She convinced him to entrust her with his savings, all while planning a sinister fate. After drugging Tako with sleeping pills mixed into a meal, Kanai sealed his fate by locking him in a room filled with charcoal stoves, leading to his tragic death by carbon monoxide poisoning. In a cold act of betrayal, she stole over $120,000 from his account before vanishing. Kanai repeated this cruel cycle with other men, including elderly Kenzu Ando and bachelor Isuki Ueda, each victim drawn in by her charm and destroyed by her greed. But fate began to catch up with her when Isuki's sister grew suspicious and alerted the police, leading to the discovery of disabled fire alarms and sedatives at Kanai's residence. The police investigation intensified, and on September 25, 2009, Kanai was finally arrested on multiple fraud charges. The evidence was overwhelming: purchases of electric stoves, drug medications, and the disabling of safety alarms all pointed to her role in these suspicious deaths. Though she tried to maintain innocence, the walls closed in, marking the beginning of the end for the Black Widow's deadly reign. The courtroom was packed with tension as Kanai Sakura faced the weight of justice. The evidence against her was damning: multiple counts of fraud, and most gravely, charges of murder connected to the suspicious deaths of her victims. Though the autopsies were complicated by the nature of the deaths, carbon monoxide poisoning mixed with sedatives, the circumstantial evidence painted a chilling portrait of premeditation. Kanai pleaded not guilty, weaving a defense that the deaths were accidents or personal decisions by the men. Her calm demeanor and sharp intelligence fueled her claims. But the prosecution focused on the pattern, the financial gain, the eerie similarities in each victim's demise, and Kanai's presence before each death. Testimonies revealed how Kanai's charm masked a calculating predator. The court heard how she manipulated vulnerable men, slowly draining their resources before ending their lives to escape repayment. The jury found the stories convincing. The repeated use of charcoal stoves to cause fatal carbon monoxide poisoning was chillingly deliberate. On April 13, 2012, Kanai Sakura was found guilty of multiple murders and sentenced to death. The verdict shocked many, yet confirmed the fears of those who had followed her case. Despite the grim sentence, Kanai's story did not end behind bars. She became a controversial figure. Some admired her cunning, others condemned her ruthlessness. While awaiting execution, Kanai continued to write memoirs and an autobiographical novel that fascinated the public. Blurring the lines between infamy and celebrity, her personal life remained tumultuous. She married several times, including once to a supporter who eventually divorced her after losing his ability to provide. Each chapter of her post-conviction life added layers to the complex portrait of a woman who had embraced her dark fate with disturbing resolve. Kanai's tale is a chilling reminder of how charm and manipulation can mask the most sinister intentions. As Kanai Sakura's trial closed, her name became etched in Japan's criminal history, a grim symbol of betrayal, greed, and cold-blooded murder. Her story continued to ripple beyond the courtroom, sparking debates on justice, mental health, and the vulnerabilities in society that Redditors exploit. In prison, Kanai remained an enigma. Despite facing the death penalty, she lived with unsettling calm, continuing to write and communicate with fans. Her published memoirs offered a disturbing insight into her mind, both self-pitying and unapologetic, blending truth and fiction with a skillful hand. Her controversial fame earned her financial support and even marriage proposals from admirers. Yet her relationships were short-lived and marked by manipulation, mirroring her past. These unions only deepened the mystery surrounding her psyche, raising questions about redemption and remorse. The victims, often lonely middle-aged men seeking connection, became cautionary figures. Their stories highlighted the dangers lurking in modern dating, especially online, where Kanai exploited trust with ease. Their families sought justice, closure, and an understanding of how such cruelty could go undetected for so long. Kanai's case also led to stronger awareness around domestic abuse, elder care, and the monitoring of suspicious deaths, especially those involving vulnerable individuals. As she awaited her fate, Kanai's life served as a dark mirror reflecting the dangers of deception and the human cost of greed and manipulation. Her chilling legacy remains a lesson that beneath the surface of charm can hide the darkest intentions.